I noticed that some of my medicinal flowers has got aphids. I mean, loaded with them. So I've got to get my spray bottle out with some Dawn detergent and some water in it and spray them down. And if that don't help it, I'll get my neem oil out. But you have to get rid of them because they will absolutely ruin your plants and your flowers. I had several cabbage plants out here in the raised bed garden, cottage garden, that I need to harvest them. It's really getting hot and they're really done. And, in the hot weather, they're just going to start getting, you see how the bugs will kind of start eating on their leaves. And the tool over the bed does help a lot though. But I think I'll just harvest these and take these in, and we'll eat on them this week, and I may put some up in the freezer too. These are good, solid, firm, heavy heads. They don't look real big, but they're pretty heavy. Pretty heavy heads. Not a bunch of wormholes in them either. Me and Mr. Brown, we love cabbage. Any way that you can fix it. We love it boiled, we love it fried, we love coleslaw, we love it in stir fries, we love homemade sauerkraut, we love it all. I'm going to take these leaves off these cabbage plants and I'm going to give them to the chickens. And most of these leaves, they're edible. But I think I'll just give them to the chickens. That's another good heavy firm head right there. Pretty cabbage. The tool that y'all seen me use for so many years, I learned this trick from Robbie and Gary Gardening. I've been watching them forever. And she lives in California, and she uses tool all the time, and it does help. So y'all know how much that I absolutely love my cottage garden, which is a part of my garden that I grow all of my medicinal plants and flowers, all of my herbs that I grow and I harvest, and I dry them, I hang them and dry them, or put them in one of my dry racks and let them dry, and then I put them up for the winter and I use them in all my cooking. But I do love them. And I love to come out and be able to get cut flowers to put in the house. I love the wildflowers. They don't all bloom all at the same time. That's the only thing that I have against these packages of all these wildflower seeds. They do come up, and they're so pretty, and the bees and the butterflies love them. But they don't all bloom at the same time. My zinnias, usually by this time of year, they're really I have lots and lots already bloomed, but this year's different. The plants, they're all up, and they're doing good, but they're not blooming as quickly as they have in the past. And that is my favorite cut flower for sure. But anyways, we do the best we can. But I do love always to have these flowers for the house. All of the vegetables are grown out in the big main part of the garden. Some are in here too. But the cabbage has done good this year. And I've got a jalapeno and a bell pepper and some mint for some tea that I picked for tonight. This is just garden mint, and it makes the best tea. So, Danny, we ended up picking one of his, not a pinot, off his jalapeno plant. And they're not hot, they're pretty mild. Then I picked 2 bell peppers. So, I thought, you know what? Since I got a bell pepper and a jalapeno off his not a pinot plant, we're going to come in and we're going to make some pepper jelly. So what you need for this is going to be a very small batch of pepper jelly. That's all Mr. Brown need. So I chopped up both a half of a bell pepper, and then I chopped up half of that jalapeno. But what you need for this recipe is at least 3/4 of a cup of both peppers combined. So your bell pepper and your jalapeno should all both together measure up to 3/4 of a cup. And I'm going to be using my steam canner. Even though I'm not going to have a whole canner load, I'm still going to steam can them. Or you can water bath them, whichever you want to do. I love my steam canner. I'm so glad that I bought it. This is my pan I'm going to be using. It's a thick bottom pan. That's what I'm going to be using to make my jelly. And I'm going to be making my pepper jelly out of apple juice this time. I had a decent sized bottle of apple juice, organic, no sugar, left in the refrigerator, and I'm going to use some of it. So I've got 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, 2 cups of apple juice, and we're going to go ahead and we're just going to put all of our peppers in there, the jalapenos and the bell peppers. Now, this apple juice, it is organic. You don't have to use organic, but it has no sugar added, and it don't have any kind of other besides some kind of acidic preservative in there. But it's just plain old apple juice. So I put a teaspoon of butter. I put a tablespoon of sugar and 3 ounces of pectin. Now, the tablespoon of sugar is just kind of helps it set up a little bit better, but we've got more sugar coming. So what I'm going to do is I've got my heat on now that I've got all my ingredients in here, and I will put the recipe down in my information box. And we're just going to stir this Let it heat up. I'm going to keep stirring it, let that butter melt and everything kind of combine. And then I want this to come up to absolute full boil. I want a boil that you cannot stir down at all. And when I say that, I mean when you're stirring it, and if it, if the boil stops, then it's not a good boil. You need to be able to stir it, and it just continues to boil. And that's what we're looking for. And that one good boil is going to help loosen up. It's going to help soften up them peppers. So now that it's come to that full boil that you can't stir down, I'm going to put 3 cups of sugar in there. And I'm just going to continue to stir this till the sugar dissolves. And you can't see it anymore. And when it comes up to another full boil that I can't stir down, I'll start timing for 1 minute. So that's 2 cups of apple juice, 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, teaspoon of sugar, 3 ounces of pectin, your bell peppers, 3 cups of sugar. And I didn't have to go buy anything. Everything I needed was in my garden or in my pantry or in the refrigerator. So you can see it hasn't come up to a full boil yet, but I'm just going to keep stirring it until it does. And once it does, I'll put my timer on for 1 minute. I like to use any kind of fruit that I have on hand to make my pepper jelly. And this time it just happened to be a little bit of apple juice that I had left over in the refrigerator. And like I said, this is a small batch. If you want to, you can double it, but sometimes doubling a recipe don't always work. But this small batch will last me and Mr. Brown for quite a while. Okay, it's come up to a full boil again that you can't stir down. And I've got my timer on for 1 minute. And I'm just going to keep stirring for that whole 1 minute. Okay, I got my burner off. Now I'm just going to let this sit here for just a little bit. My jars are heated up in my steam canner. I got my lids ready. And we'll start filling our jars up. It smells really good. Okay, we're going to start filling our jars up. Like I said, I've got hot jars. We're going to fill this up to about 1/4 of an inch head space. I should get at least 3 to 4 half pints. We'll see what I get exactly. But I just, like I said, I just use any kind of fruit that I have already on hand. Whether if it's apple juice, whether if it's blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, pears, it don't matter. Peaches. Just whatever I have on hand is what I'll use. And I'm about to get low on my jelly jars, especially my half pints. And I'll tell you why. I mentioned probably last year, and I don't remember, I was doing some kind of canning video, and I told y'all that I've got enough jams and jellies to last me and Mr. Brown the rest of our lives. And that's the truth. Because we don't just eat jelly or jam every day. And I have got cupboards full of so many different jellies and jams that I've made. So I've kind of cut back on making any till we get that ate up. I mean, it's kind of silly to just keep adding to it when you've got so much. But I don't have as much pepper jelly. In fact, I didn't have any. So I thought, you know what? I had that one jalapeno and then bell peppers. I had the sugar, I had the jars, I had the apple juice. I had anything I needed to make that small batch of pepper jelly to put up. And this will last me and Mr. Brown quite a while. Just this amount right here. And I do like putting them even in the littlest jelly jars, because it's just the right amount for me to take out or open up. And I like to put mine in the refrigerator before I open a jar of it though. And put some on some cream cheese. Warm it up a little bit in the microwave and spread it over that cream cheese. I eat it with crackers. I eat it with celery and stuff like that. And this is just another tiny little jar I've got to finish it off. I think I've got enough to fill that little tiny jar up. And that's just the right amount for me and Mr. Brown to eat at one serving. Now I love using pepper jelly on different things. Y'all watched me make a video using pepper jelly on my pork roast, and it was delicious. I love using pepper jelly on pork roast. I love using it on ribs. I love putting it on grilled chicken. I mean, you can do a lot with pepper jelly. It just gives stuff really good taste, especially on pork, because pork and fruit and peppers and all that goes so good together. So I've got just a little bit left. I'm going to try to finish off the rest, these jars. Probably get them too full, but... And you can see how them peppers, they want to stay at the top of your jelly. And you don't have to debubble jelly, but I was just showing you can kind of push them peppers down, but they're still going to come right back up to the top. But the thing of it is, when you open them up to use them, after they've set up, just stir it. Just stir all them peppers down into that jelly that's set up really good. We're just going to wipe our rims off good. Make sure there's nothing sticky up there to keep it from sealing. I do have some blackberries in the freezer. If y'all like to see me make a really easy blackberry cobbler, and how about some homemade custard ice cream to go with it? Would y'all like a video like that? Because I know I need to make some homemade ice cream, and I figure Mr. Brown would love some blackberry cobbler. So I might just turn the camera on when I'm doing that. So we're going to put our lids on and our rings on. I'm going to put them in the steam canner. If you want to water bath them in just a small pot or something, just as long as they're covered, at least an inch to 2 inches above the top. If you want to water bath them. Some people wouldn't even water bath them. Some people just put the hot jelly in the hot jars with the lids and cover them up and hope for the best that they'll seal. But I'm going to steam can mine because I don't want to put all mine in the refrigerator. For some reason that they didn't seal, or I just feel better if I go ahead and can them. Plus it only takes 10 minutes once it comes up to temp. And believe me, every little bit counts. Even a small batch of pepper jelly. Okay, we got them in the steam canner. I had to put a little bit more water in there. We're going to put the top on it. And it's got this gauge on top. It's got different colors on there for your altitude. My altitude's about maybe just a little over 600. So I'm going to wait till the little red handle, little red thing comes over to that dark green. And when it does, I'll start counting down 10 minutes. I love my vintage stove. I love my vintage kitchen. The old sink that Danny put in that reminds me so much of Grandma Gladys. There's nothing new that you could give me that'd make me any happier. I just love my vintage house. And I love my new big window so I can see outside. See the beautiful woods and my beautiful garden. I just love it. I want to show y'all something. This is my sitting area, one of the sitting areas. And I love this little spot. But over here on my mantle, I wanted to show y'all that, you know, I change out the picture on this mantle for every season. And this is the little red wagon with flowers in it. And I thought it looked really cute there for summer. Plus I filled my apothecary jar with lemons. So I thought that looked pretty cute for a summer mantle. The little red wagon. Really cute. I got that at a flea market. I don't think I give much for it at all. I can't remember how much, but it was not very much. So yeah, this is where I sit and read and work for YouTube and sometimes work on my cookbooks, and it's just one of my favorite areas. The old wood cook stove, which we're not using right now that it's gotten so hot. I love to collect baskets. Danny loves to collect old pulleys. We have them hanging from the beams in the cabin. That's one thing he loves to look for at flea markets when he's with me, is them old pulleys. I want y'all to look. Finally, we're seeing bees in the garden. And I'm telling you, when I walk through the garden first thing in the morning and late in the afternoon, the bees are everywhere, and it makes me so happy to see them pollinating my vegetables, my squash, my green beans, my tomatoes, everything. It makes me so happy to see them.
Well, I used to say you had to have in this country, you had to have your potatoes dug by July the 4th because of the hot weather, and if it rains, they're liable to rot and this, that, and the other. I don't know if that wise tale's true or not, but I've seen potatoes stay in the ground a pretty good while and still be okay, but they will tend to start sprouting. So these are about a month early. They done really good. Done real good for no more water than we had at the time. We finally got some water and they all bloomed. And this roll that I've dug, I filled this bucket over full. It's kind of like digging for gold. You don't know what you're going to have until you dig them up. They may be 1, they may be 5, they may be 6. Maybe none. We'll just have to see. This here, they're done pretty good. That one plant there made what, about 8 potatoes, 3 or 4 decent ones. We've had some really big ones, but I just soon have that size potato right there. Right there, easy to peel. And I put wood chips along the side of them to keep the grass down. Looks like I got a little one sprouting out here to the side. I need to see if there's anything in there. May not be much under it. Look at there, it made a... That's the original potato we put in the ground. Most of them's done decayed more than that one.
These are Pontiac red potatoes.
That 2 little old plants there made a decent potato. I'll stick this little fella here back down in the ground. He's liable to come up in the spring or... And this ground's working alive with worms. There's little bitty insects in there, different roly-polies we call them, and different stuff. That's what happens when they grow against the rocks. They get kind of funny shaped.
We got plenty of rocks.
Got plenty of rocks, even though I keep pulling them out of here. That plant there made some pretty nice potatoes. I didn't dig on down there and just check, make sure we ain't got some in there. Look at there.
Yeah, they can be deep. Look how pretty that soil is.
It's kind of sandy, and it's a good potato rolls, that's for sure.
We don't wash our potatoes. We leave the dirt on them when we store them. I mean, we don't just leave a bunch of mud on them, but
right here's what I like to see. That's what I like to see in my garden rows.
Worm castings is some of the best fertilizer, and plus they aerate the soil.
I try not to kill them. Put that rotten potato back out there and put him in under the dirt for now. This one here just got one plant come up. It probably ain't got very many. Look at what I done. Cut a potato. Didn't get down deep enough, did I?
Oh, you cut that one too.
Have to eat it. That there was quite a bit deeper or something. I scarred them up, didn't I?
You'll have to go a little bit deeper, I guess.
Well, I thought I was, but evidently that spot there is a little deeper. It ain't the first one I ever scarred up.
Now, you can tell them, explain to them how we planted these potatoes. We planted the whole potatoes. We didn't cut them in half or cut them in fours.
No.
We just planted the whole potato. But we've always, cut them up
Yeah, we
to
usually
the,
let them dry for 2 or 3 days, but we decided we'd plant the whole potato this time. And they've done pretty good.
Papa.
What? Is Wally outside?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there he is. I see him now. That's our grand dog, Wally. Hi, Wally.
Babysitting.
Babysitting. Hank's up there taking a nap. You're not going to dig all these today, are you?
No.
You're just going to dig a little every day?
I'm going to dig a bucket today. Look at there.
Ooh, look at them potatoes.
Look at that one.
That would feed me and you right there, that potato. Whether if I fried them, boiled them, mashed them, it wouldn't matter. That one potato.
Another good one. This right here is a volunteer. That's a volunteer from last year right there. There's another one. Little bitty plants, but they made a potato.
I like those with my beans. Peas. I don't think I know I'm not. I mean, my tomato plants are looking good, but I'm not going to have any tomatoes ripe by the 4th this year. But I did start my tomatoes from seed, and it just seemed like it took them a while, but I mean, they're doing good. But I just don't think we're going to have any ripe or done by the 4th.
You gonna get these potatoes and dig them up?
What?
What are you doing? Glasses on.
Oh, Nana! On that.
Look at that.
No one's on that.
3 tubes and 3 big potatoes.
You'd boil that up and put sour cream on it, wouldn't you, Lou? Look at that one.
Yeah, it looks like a butt cheek.
It does. Oh, goodness. Don't get ticks on you. I don't know if they're out in the garden, but they're everywhere else right now after this rain.
Look what a worm.
You never know how many you're going to get, do you?
No, that just had 2 tubers on it. I got one off of it a while ago.
Look at the potatoes.
Now, we got several different places we're going to be storing these potatoes, and we'll show y'all that whenever we get all that done. But Danny's dad used to talk about a lot of times, and it depends on the weather and stuff, that they would leave. Would they dig them up and then bury them, or would they just leave the plant and all and just leave the potatoes in the ground and dig them as they ate them?
No, they dig them and bury them back in the ground with wheat straw and probably a little bit of lime. They put them in the ground and cover the hole, keep them down in that cool ground.
Yeah.
And they'd keep them all winter. Cause won't freeze down that deep.
Well, you know, besides a good tomato and that fried squash we ate last night, an earthy potato that you grew, they're just, you can't hardly beat the taste, can you?
No.
I showed Danny some potatoes I've got in the house that I had bought the other day. Whoops, what happened? I think I've had them thing going on 3 weeks and they're still green. They're the little bitty white or Yukon potatoes. I told Danny, I said, they had to spray them potatoes because they're still greener and gourd. So they're going to be probably going out.
Yeah, they're. At the time, you didn't know how quick we was going to dig potatoes.
No, but like I said, that's been almost 3 weeks ago. So I've just been hesitating to even eat them.
Well, we're going to have, that's another bucket. We're going to have 3 or 4 more buckets at least. I don't know what kind, how good these done over here. Them's a different kind, ain't they?
These are the. Hang on. They're the russets. They're the.
Let's just dig one, see what it looks like.
My mind went blank. Y'all can tell me. You're probably hollering at me, telling me what they're called.
You told me.
Kennebec, right?
I don't remember.
Pretty sure. I'm not too sure that I didn't throw some of the Yukon Gold in there too. But he's already dug some potatoes behind me. He's just digging a few. That's the Pontiacs.
That's not what you was talking about, is it?
Mm-mm.
That's something I hadn't put on the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were discussing the blooms. There were different color blooms. There's white blooms and was it pink blooms?
Purplish.
Purplish blooms. And I was thinking that the Kennebec was the white blooms.
That plant there made a lot of potatoes.
Might be more under there.
Well, I don't know if the next one is or different or not. I don't remember
I don't remember where we stopped at with the
we had
with
some
Kennebecs.
left over and put them in this end, I bet.
Probably. Anyways, he's done. He come out the other day and he's already dug this many up. They're already put up, and plus we give the neighbors, some of the neighbors, some good old potatoes too. So when we get these potatoes, when they are completely dug, I ordered several packets of some whippoorwill peas, and we're going to come out here and plant them peas for a cover crop and see how they do and get us some fresh peas. Peas and taters.
We thought about planting late corn.
Yeah. I want y'all to look at these squash. Groundhog has gotten in here. Now, we think he's long gone now. No sign of him. But he ate most of the leaves off of my squash plants and my zucchinis down through there. That's why they look so rough. But I've been picking squash off of them. But I want you to look at the new foliage that's coming back. So he didn't kill my plants. But I'm telling you, and there's one down there that does look, you can see it sticking straight up. I ate most of the leaves off of it, but anyways, they're producing squash. So, and then
and squirrels.
then I've got more squash planted here and there too. So we're not going to be hurting for squash.
Green beans.
Yep, I seen some yesterday. Won't be long. Some pretty green beans, and I mean they're thick too.
Finally started getting some bees in the garden.
Yes. And they're not your regular honeybees, but they, in the mornings especially, when you come out here, I walk in here in the morning, then I walk in here late at night and do whatever needs to be done. And that's early in the morning, that's when they're out, and they're just everywhere. Back there in that very corner, we threw out a bunch of wildflowers, and that's kind of attracting them too. But they have really been pollinating and doing their thing finally, because we just wasn't seeing any bees. So besides the first ripe tomato, my first plate of fried squash is always the best. I got a grand dog barking in the background. I was going to show you, I got a little bit of cream cheese here. And here's my apple pepper jelly. We're just going to, this is the way I love eating my pepper jelly. You can heat this up a little bit. We're going to taste it. I may not have put enough jalapeños in it. You never know. I'm just going to kind of dip it here since I'm the only one eating out of it. That's really good. And it's just the right heat. It's not too hot. Really good. Simple ingredients. Used apple juice. Couple peppers out of the garden, some sugar. It's good stuff. Mr. Brown, he always grows some good potatoes. It'll be so good this winter. Okay, do that again.
Where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I searched the world over and thought I found true love. You met another and you were gone.
Oh my God.